What up, family? What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Father to Father podcast, where we take deep dives into fatherhood through meaningful conversation. Me and my pop are your hosts, and each episode we'll get into the role men play as fathers. Whether you're a single dad, co-parenting, or going through the court system, you're in the right place to get new perspectives and stories. So join us on this journey, and let's discuss what makes fatherhood so
We'd
rewarding.
like to welcome y'all back, Father to Father podcast. I'm Monty,
I'm Gregory Anthony.
and we welcome you back. What we got here for you today is we're gonna theme it up as the legal part of this whole father thing. Like I said in the first episode is we're gonna try to make sure that you're aware if you're going through the court system of your rights and things that you can do and how to present it so that you don't come off as abrasive or aggressive or you know what I'm saying. But to the goal of evidence, that's what we're gonna sum this up as today. The goal of evidence, right, Pop?
Right.
And as you can see, I brought my man with me. Got his paperwork. He ready to go. So, Pop, you go ahead and get us going. What you got today?
Okay, like I say, welcome to Father to Father. And I know on our last episode we talked a lot, I gave out a lot of information, but we want to make our focus on fathers have rights.
Absolutely.
Fathers have rights. So today, as you said, we're going to focus in on some of the goal of having evidence and properly organizing your evidence can save you money, thousands of dollars if you properly organize the evidence. And it helps your lawyer performance at the trial. Now, restating the goal of evidence in a child custody case, judges often hear accusations from both sides. And the goal of evidence is to support the claims made in your petition or your testimony and defend yourself against accusations or lies presented by the opposing party's claim. Your case can be strengthened by evidence that either show your credibility or weaken the credibility of the other party.
Let me pause you right there, Pop, because it could be a lot to take in at once. And I'm not saying
Right.
You flowing right now, and I like that. But like what you said is you definitely when you present this evidence, you wanna make sure you definitely you want to have it to start. You want to have the evidence, especially when you do right. Like it's always good to present your side of it. And at first, when I got into my legal journey with this, I definitely text messages wasn't working. Like I couldn't go to my lawyer and say, "Hey, I got these text messages of like," and I could, but that wasn't the best thing. So what I did was which we'll probably get into as we go down the line, just let's write down my interactions and times and what we when we talked, what was said and how was the conversation, so that if I did say, hey, I got these text messages, like this is what's said in the text message, not this the going back and forth part about it, like show that you're putting forth the effort to be in your child's life in the first place, because that's the end all in this is that you want to be in your child's life. So it is very important that you present your side of it to the best of your ability.
Okay. Now, some other things here I want to bring out. When filing your pleadings or giving your testimony, this is very important. Avoid lying or making any kind of claim that you cannot support. Say that again. Avoid lying or making any claims
Yes.
that you cannot support. Why? Because your credibility will be at risk. In a family court, lies are rampant, but accurately discrediting fabricated testimonies can significantly help your case as the other parent's subsequent claims begin to lose credibility. So avoid that line.
Absolutely,
Avoid that.
because it's already a spitting match when you get in there anyway, because both sides want to be heard and they want their side to look like the best as possible for them. And fellas, like I said, you don't want to go into the back and forth, especially if you feel like how I did, like I just wasn't being heard, and that the state of Illinois wasn't on my side, because you don't want to take that attitude in there, like, well, they just for the mothers anyway. And sometimes it might be feeling like they're lobbying for her, but you don't want to start lying to make yourself look better, because they'll start to dissect it. They'll see through all of that.
Credibility.
That'll hurt you big time. That'll hurt you big time. Line. I definitely agree with that. You gotta always stick to just the facts. Don't make it a feeling thing. Stick to the facts. And I don't want to put down women and say they always get into the feelings things, or men don't get into feelings. Like sometimes we can jump on that side too as well, fellas. You just want to leave your feelings out of it and just keep it with the facts. Keep it with the facts.
Now, regardless of your denied custody arrangements, once a complaint for custody has been filed, your goal is to present a lot of evidence to show the family court that you, the father, are the better suited parent. For a father to be granted what? Primary custody, the judge must feel confident that this custody ruling suits the best interest of the child. Best interest of the child.
True as well. Went through that, and not that I was looking for full custody, because like at the end of the day, I didn't want to just rip my daughter away from her mom. You need both parents. Like you need both. So like I don't, unless it's a really bad situation, and like I said, in a really bad situation, I don't like really getting into dirty details. But it don't include because she got another guy she's involved with. It that doesn't matter. She has to have a life as well. If she's got a boyfriend in the process, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? That has nothing to do with it. If there's no abuse or no open drug usage or anything that may put your child's life in danger, if that's not involved, then you're definitely going to be, like I said, take going into this looking at 50-50, and then they step you up to it. You don't automatically get 50-50. They step you up. Like, okay, yeah, you'll get some weekends, or you'll do this day this week and this day next week, and then you'll get a weekend. Like it's a process. So yeah, unless it's really, really bad, definitely try to, they're gonna step you up to your 50-50, but that's your end all be all. And don't you need both parents. So don't try to go in thinking I'm going to get full custody and take her away from her mom. Unless you know what's going on over there. It's not an environment that's greatly suited for a child to be their best.
Okay, I want to give you some steps you need to follow. And it's very important to start the evidence, getting your evidence together, your collection and organization process right away. Jump on that. Time is of an essence, and it's important to start gathering evidence immediately before any opportunities is lost or tracks are covered up. The other party may try to cover up some things, or you may lose some information.
Yep. Like it happens like that. Like I said, like I just said, they're going into this. It's already like a little spitting contest. It's an ugly affair anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's not pretty. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, you want to make sure, if you feel like it's gonna go this route, you're talking to her and it's not going anywhere. She's like, oh, she won't let me see the baby, or she won't let me see my child. Like if you feel like it's getting to that, then you want to, like I said, start writing down how these conversations go and these times, like, hey, what you need, like, just so to present it, like, hey, I'm putting it out there that I'm trying to reach out and see what she needs, what the baby needs, and I'm not getting no feedback. Like, you know what I'm saying? Start that early. So if you feel like it's getting to that point where you may need a lawyer and it's about to go to the court, start journaling, putting it down, like however you need to save it. You start collecting that immediately for sure.
And you need to start gathering your evidence. As I said, okay, create a relationship timeline. Begin using a journal. We talked about that. Most men don't like to write down things, but this is very critical.
Yeah, very.
Begin using a journal with regular date entries. Regular date entries. Understand what family court judges look for. And you need to develop a strategy supported by what? Evidence.
Yep.
Categorize evidence by the custody factor. Okay. Here are some tips. And Monty mentioned this as well. Do not delete any emails, text messages, or voicemails. Do not throw away any letters, calendars, or receipts. And be very discreet with your collection process. Don't let everybody know what you're doing. And be authentic to effectively authenticate or identify an item of evidence. You must present evidence that is sufficiently supported a finding that the item is what you claim it to be. Inventing or fabricating or falsifying, in other words, lying about evidence, is a crime. It's a crime. And be timely with this information. The creation of or the occurrence of an item should originate within a relevant time frame of the matter at hand. The family court may not consider a parent's lifestyle prior to the child's birth, which wouldn't affect if the child is already here. And I want to talk about these types of evidence. And the most common type of evidence offered in a child custody case, and we said this, we're going to focus on these: journals, emails, text messages, instant messages, and so forth.
Yeah.
Keep
those.
Keep those.
Keep those.
Never delete, discard, or misplace any of these items. Keep up with it.
Like if you got to file it, like I said, and sometimes it depending on how the judge feel that day, it looks good that you come in prepared and you can. She's like, okay, like she asked you for this, and you could go right to the file or whatever you need. Well, yeah, it'll definitely be a file because in some courtrooms they don't allow electronics, so you're not, because I know where I was going, they didn't allow your phone to come past a certain point. So the file was very important for me. That's why I brought it up. But yeah, they asked me for something. I could go right to the section in my file, pull it out, give it to my lawyer, or hand it to the judge if I needed to, and say, this is what I have. And it's very important. Keep that. Keep it. Lock it up if you have to. It is very important.
And this, you need to be diligent. Gather all your documents and file this information.
I had to learn that
the moment, right? The moment you have concerns that custody could be disputed, you get this together quickly.
That's it. And I was only saying I had to learn that because it was my first time around with this, so I wasn't understanding where I could go in my avenues. And then when I did find something, Land of Lincoln, they had already started representing who I was going against, so I didn't have anybody. Exactly.
They won't do that.
Yep, they won't do it.
Now let's get back to this journal. And like I said, most men don't like to record or write down anything. They think they got everything together. But when you're going through a heated custody dispute, it can be difficult or hard to keep up track of all the events. But keeping a daily journal will be helpful for refreshing your memory and referencing details for your attorney to help your lawyer. Journal entries can be handwritten, typed on a computer, or emailed to yourself with a time. Make sure you have a time and date stamp already on it when you get it.
Mm-hmm.
Put all this information down and record events as soon as possible. Do it as quickly as soon as possible and write a brief summary. Write a brief summary of each day. Now, each entry with the date and time. Make sure you have that on there.
Yeah.
Dates and time. That's important. And they must feel, or this may feel kind of excessive at times. You know, men just don't want to write things down. You say, I don't have to do this. It's too much. But you have to be diligent in your
absolutely.
work.
And then when you think about it in the long process, the reward you're looking to seek, like you're looking to get with your child, like, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing that I won't do to get there. So like you said, if they're not feeling like this is too much, like you got to put that to the side and think about your child. Like if this is what you want in the end, these are the things that you have to do. So, and like I said, I get it. I was that person too. I wasn't a journaling kind of person until I started going through this, and not just even with my evidence, just my feelings. Like that wasn't the furthest thing in my mind when I got in this. I wasn't thinking about writing nothing down. But you are right. It is very important to write the dates, times, everything. Very important. I got my notebook right over here.
And these types of evidence and documentation does what? It can strengthen your case when accurate details are requested. You have documentation and possible items you might want to include in this journal. Here's some journal items. I got a list of things here of exchanges. On exchanges, you need to write date, times, locations, tardiness, contentious interaction. What kind of attitude did the partner have or have when you were making exchanges? Any other issues or complications? Okay, pick up and drop off. Do you have daycare, school, or practice? Are you doing those things with the child once you pick up a child? Are you taking them to the daycare? Are you picking them up from school or taking them to school? Are you going to any types of practices?
Now, I will say, not to cut you off on that part, because I wasn't at a point where I was seeing my daughter. I didn't get to see her until she was 2 years old. But so when I did go through this legal part of it and got granted my pickups and drop offs and my days, it was a little different. But I wanted to the pickup is very important to write that down or to keep it in your mind how they treat you in those moments. Again, because you don't want to come to her like with an attitude like she's a little behind, took you long enough, and so, because she could be doing this same thing that we're putting out for the men to do. Women already have that innate ability to do it, and we just so slow to pick up on it sometimes, you know. So definitely, you want to stay up on your P's and Q's when it comes to that. Like, you know, all of this is very, very important. But when you said that, it was just funny to me because. I'm going through this now still, like I said, and so I know, fellas, you don't start off at the point where you get pickups and drop offs. So some of that part might be a little different for you, but for the ones that are at, like you're, sometimes it's what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? It's not hostile between you and her, so you got some type of relationship with her, and you can see your daughter, even though you're still going through the court system, and she's trying to get child support, or you're trying to get more time. If you like this, that I get it. Yeah, definitely you want to write these things down. But I know there's fellas out there that ain't on good speaking terms, and it's not good between y'all. So we'll get to that point too, with the things that you can do as well. As far as, because like I said, that pickup and drop off will be the judge will grant you the times and they'll give you this piece of paper and stamp it for you. So, and don't nothing overrule that. And that's the point I'm at. Like that, I got the piece of paper from the judge. I wasn't at a point where we were talking. Like there was no communication, and that was very hurtful. Like I felt, but like I said, I met her at 2, and I felt so far behind. so far behind.
Okay, some other journal items you may want to include in this journal. Bedtimes and nap times. Uh, Write down the length of the sleep and the time that they fell asleep. Okay? Meals, what they ate for each meal, and what type of appetite did they have. Daily activities. This includes play dates, learning activity that you have, outings to the park or the playground, music practice, sports, the events that you're taking the child to, and what type of behavior that the child displayed. Good or concerning behavior, polite, patient, well-mannered, attentive, communicative, shy, withdrawn, or anxious, aggressive, disruptive, temper tantrums, energy level. Was the child tired, well rested, calm, and active? You have to look at this as a child's behavior.
Yeah, and sometimes, fellas, you want to it's not the kid's fault. You can see you get a little frustrated with it, and then, like I said, because with my daughter, I went through when I would pick her up, it would be a problem. Like she would just flat out just be like, "I'm not doing it," and because she didn't know me, and I'm not mad at her for that. It's a lot to be a 2-year-old and your only interaction has been with your mom, and then all of a sudden one day it's like I got to meet this strange person,
Right.
and you want me to be there with them, like, and take me out of my comfort. Pretty much, with my security, and fellas, you have to be patient, like, because it is a process and it weighs. Like I said, I know this because I'm speaking from an experience. I'm in it right now. It weighs, like, again, you have to not blame the child because again, it's not their fault. Like, and I'm not placing fault on anyone. I'm just saying that for a kid to be, it's going to happen because this is all new territory for everyone in this process, especially for a child.
A couple of more items I want to run through that you should put in your journal. It's the health status. Child is in your custody. Record accidents or injuries. And what did you do to correct those things? What kind of measures did you take? Illness in either parent's care. Child got sick in your care or got injured or in the other parent's custody. What did they do? Doctor's visit. Do you take the child to the doctor?
Mm-hmm. I'm not at that point yet, but we're working on it. We're working on it. All of it. I'm like I said, I'm in it right now, so this is very important. I'm definitely ears open.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna wrap up with a couple more things and give you just a quick overview of a daily journal. Okay, the child's education. If they are in school, you need to make sure they're doing their homework, performance updates that you get reports from the school, school behavior reports if they are in school, and developmental milestone that you want to see accomplished with the child. And this is important. Make sure you have something on the other parent's conduct. Concerns for irresponsible parent or neglect. Denial of communication or access to the child. Violation of existing custody order. You may have some existing orders. Are they violating these orders?
Yeah.
And make decisions together, unilateral decisions, and resistance to the co-parent. How are they interacting with you?
Yeah, it's important to keep it cordial. Like I said, you don't have to always be best friends, but you do share this child together. So, and it is important in order for that child to grow up successful that you two are like it's a working, like, what I'm saying, you could be cordial, like, what I'm saying, it's okay, what I'm saying, she's moving on with her life, you're moving on with yours, and we're doing what's best for the child. Very important.
And my final thing I want to say is on journaling. daily journaling is important, even if your journal entry is nothing significant to report today. But these entries can offer insight into being stable, a daily routine, and may help deflect baseless accusations against you. Again, it can save you thousands of dollars if you have this information, and it is very, very helpful to your lawyer.
Mm-hmm. But
Okay.
what I would say to that is, because like I said, I still talk to my lawyer all the time, and I just check in with him because I go back to, not necessarily to renegotiate, but we pretty much what it is to get more time. And that, like I said, it's a process. They stepping me up. This is what I have to go through. Everybody's journey in this is not the same. Like I said, and like again, I don't want anybody to get this information and then hit me up and be like, hey, it didn't work, because everybody's journey is different.
Right. The laws are different in each state.
Each state, and almost you could say, depending on the county you in, it's just different. Every person's journey through this is different. But I will say that I communicated with Mark a lot, and he would always just say, "Hey man, if you got anything, just bring it up. Like I have my file, just bring it up here. You know what I'm saying? What you got? Let me see. What can I use? What can I do to help? What can I use that you got that can help you? You know?" He would be like, "Hey, if you looking up some stuff, feel free." Like I wasn't trying, because at some point I would apologize to him sometimes because I would be trying to speed the process up. You know what I'm saying? Like, why does it take so long? Or why my next court date is 4 months from the last one, or things like that, because you don't want to rush the process. And again, you could be ambitious and be like, because I want this so bad, but it's a lengthy process. Like I said, it took me almost 2 years.
The main thing to remember that dads, you do have rights. Just don't take it laying down.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, and not in the physical form of it. You just want to, when you get in that courtroom, like I said, head up, no attitude, you're smiling, even though it's a battle. It's like you said, it's touchy. So you want to show the judge that I'm not here to pay a lawyer to say I don't want to be here. Here's the child support check. I'm gone. You do what you got to do. Like, that was not my thing going into it. I'm not going anywhere. I'm at every court date. If it's a Zoom meeting, I'm there. Like, man, and my lawyer would be like, "Nah, you ain't. Nah, I'm coming. I'm there." You know what I'm saying? I want them to know that I want to be involved in my daughter's life, and I'm doing everything under the sun that I need to do that. So, like I took that, I carried that with me. So no attitude and all of that stuff. I learned it, because at first it wasn't going my way, but once I learned these things, it got better.
Get your documentations together.
Yep.
All your paperwork, have it together and just lay it out.
Yep.
Lay it out. It can help you, your lawyer, save you some money if you are journaling and having material. Do not lie. See, that is a no-no.
Yeah.
Your credibility. If you in there lying, jump. You in big trouble.
They definitely gonna be like, yeah, we don't trust you around this, baby. You can't even be honest with us right here, right now, on what they would deem as small. It's not small to you, but to them they would deem it small. And if they feel like you're not shooting it straight on that, then they not gonna be looking to work with you on anything else that they feel is bigger, like taking care of a child. That's for sure.
Anything you say or make an accusation, be able to back it up. Hit us up. Let us know the things we need to do, or if you're interested in some other topics you want to discuss, let us know.
Hit us up. Father to Father Podcast.
And that's all we have for today's episode. Apologies for the unexpected interruption. We hope you found our discussion as engaging as we did. Remember to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time on Father to Father. Stay tuned and stay curious.